Hey, what's up guys, my name is Cherno and welcome to episode 117 of Game Programming. So last episode, we made the player name appear over here, okay, and we created a nice drop shadow effect for our labels, which was pretty cool. But today we're going to add the health bar kind of thing that you see here, where it says HP and it's got like a bar of health and looks pretty cool. So let's do that. So what we should do first of all is add a new UI component for that kind of thing. So that will basically be what's called a progress bar, okay? So if we go into graphics UI, we'll just make a new class, which is a UI progress bar. So every UI class will just have the UI prefix just to make everything a bit easier. So this will extend a UI component. A UI component really doesn't have much. It's got a background color, which I didn't even know it had. That's actually quite weird. Oh, it's got a color. Okay, we can get rid of background color. I don't think that's used anywhere. Yeah, it's not. So background color is kind of just replaced with color, which means background color apart from if you're drawing text, in which case it means foreground color. Anyway, and really it's only got a position, so that and an offset. But that's offset gets set automatically. Does it? Set offset. I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why there's a set offset as well, because I guess it's offset to UI panel. So let's see what this does. Yeah, you can see it sets the offset. The offset doesn't strike me as something that should actually be public though. Let's change that. So we can't make it protected. We can make it just default. And we can get rid of... Oh, we have made it default. We just made that. Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll make this private. Cool. Oh, sorry, protected. Okay. A lot of warnings. Oh, most of these are just unused things though. Let's actually just quickly clean up some of these warnings because I want to know if we actually have any generally legit compiler warnings. I don't think we do though. Type's not used here, apparently. Whatever, we'll make it protected and that'll fix that warning because who knows, it might be used in the future. Okay. Collections, never used, yeah. So we'll clean up a lot of these imports. Fonts never used. Yeah, why did we have a font there? We shouldn't have had a font there. That was our testing code, I think. Shoot closest is never used. I don't remember what that was for. I'll keep that in there. Shooter. I think shooter was our guy. Private void time and level. We'll keep that. We might use that in the future for like day-night cycles, which we should probably get around to doing soon because I really want to do that. Life for the particle spawner. Never used because it's just passed along. Yeah. I'll keep that there. And anim for player. Yeah, we don't need that. Alright, cool. So we cleaned up a bit of this, which is good. Let's just basically close everything except for UI progress bar. So, let's make... Okay, so what do we need, right? We definitely need a size. And this size isn't going to be like the progress, clearly. The size is just going to be the general size of it. So if you look at this, the size would be the size of the entire thing, no matter what progression we're up to. So, we do need a size. So, let's see. So we've got a size. We need to take in a size. This.size equals size. Public. Keep private stuff below, I think. Public first. Public int progress. So this will be 0 to 100. Always. In fact, I'll make it private. Because I want a method which sets it correctly. If we were really cool, we could do something like if progress less than 0 or progress greater than 100. Throw new, like, out of range exception. What do we have here? Range exception. Yeah. We could do something like that. In fact, I might actually do that. I don't think we've ever thrown exceptions before. I hate exceptions, but they might sometimes be good. Because, well, in this case, it'll literally stop, it'll literally, like, crash the program, and we can be like, okay, this is the point at which we've done something wrong. What is this? Oh, code, yeah, string message. So, wait, what? String message, throwable calls, yeah. What other constructors do we have for this? Just string message. Yeah, it's pretty good. Wait. Why does it open a runtime exception if I'm on range exception? Well, this is lovely. What is going on, Java? Range exception, short code. What is the code? What's the code? I don't know. 0, whatever. Message. Progress must be between 0 and 100. So, can you take me to the actual range exception? Okay, code. Oh, here we go. Bad boundary, invalid node type. If the boundary points are range, yeah. I guess we'll do this. I don't know. This is incredibly formal and unnecessary, but whatever. So we've done that. That's probably the first bit of good code we've actually written. Not that I would actually encourage exceptions ever. But anyway. I mean, they're not the worst. They're the worst in C++. They're fine in managed languages, but still, I'm not the biggest fan of exceptions. So progress. Okay, so this is what we wanted to, so we set the progress. So that's why I made a setter for it, by the way, and not just public, because I actually wanted to validate the data. And since we made a setter and we made it private, we should also get the progress. Okay, now come the actually good things. So, what am I looking for? Where's that button thing? Generate. No. Where are you? Delegate methods? Yeah, that's not what I wanted. What am I looking for? I'm looking for that thing to override methods. Where's that at? It has to be here, right? Override implement methods. That's what I was looking for. I don't know why it took me so long to find it. So render and update. Okay. That's just because I was a bit lazy to type these. Update. Yeah, I don't think we need much for that. But render is going to be a bit interesting because it's going to be kind of similar to rendering a panel. So if I open up UI panel, we can see we kind of set the color and we do this fill rect thing. We're kind of going to do the same thing here. We're going to set the color. What we actually do want to do though is we want to have a foreground color. Set it to pink, and public void set foreground color. Okay, import that. And the reason we do that is because we set the color and we fill this stuff in, and that's fine. And it is actually a component, so if we go into UI label, we do want it to have the plus offset stuff. Okay. And then the size should be correct. So if we just run this right now, it should just display like a bar kind of thing. So if I go into player real quick, and let's just say we have a private UI progress bar, UI health bar. I'll pretty much prefix everything with UI, I think. So panel.add component UI health bar, which we'll set equal to, whoops, a new UI progress bar. So the position, which of course is relative to that other thing, will probably be around about our name, except below it. So name, we'll drop it to like 240 maybe. Now the size will probably be on the Y around 40, and then maybe like, gee, I don't know, like 350 or something? I'm just guessing, I have no clue. And if we just render that, so that should be rendering now. Okay, cool. So we need to make that a little smaller. Also, I don't want it to be offset that much. So like 10 maybe. 10. 240 seems a bit extreme. Oh, that's right, because the bottom is 210 will be fine, because the bottom is the other thing, yeah. So, let's see. Over here, let's just try like 250. How big is that? Oh, pretty big. 150? Okay, and we definitely don't want 40. It's very fat. 180. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe 215. 210. How big is this panel, by the way? It's 80 times 3, isn't it? So let's set it to 80 times 3 minus 20. That should be perfect. And it is. Fantastic. See how good maths is? Okay, so let's keep hitting the volume wheel on my keyboard. Apologies for that. Okay, so UI health bar dot set color. This is the background color. So it looks like we want to set it to like, so essentially a very slightly lighter gray than our background. So, where's our background? There it is. So we'll probably just increase this to like 5F or something. Don't know how that's gonna work out. That's pretty good. It might be a bit, maybe like 6A or something. Oops, just so we can distinguish it better. Yeah, it's pretty good. We don't really care about it too much because the progress is what's going to be on it. So we do want to set, whoa, let's not get too excited. We do want to set the red component pretty high. So that's probably going to be quite, yeah. So it's looks like just a darker version of that. So we'll probably just set it to like that-ish. I don't know what that looks like yet. Oh, I do. Well, I'm setting the color, yeah. That looks pretty good to me. It's actually a bit more subtle. So let's do this. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a bit more. Okay, that's gonna be good enough. I don't really care what color it is. Like, if I really wanted to, I could just kind of color pick it, but I think that's probably alright. Okay, cool. So anyway, we want this to be the foreground color. So anyway, back in this land, I don't know why we overrode update. We probably don't need that. But it's not like it's gonna have animation. It might. I don't know. We'll decide. Yeah, so what we want to do is we want to set the color here to our foreground color. And we want to basically render everything at that thing, but this is where it becomes the size, this is where the size will kind of change. So the size 0, so the size X is actually going to be 0. That's kind of, it doesn't have an offset, it's just 0, right? Except what it's actually going to be is the progress. Now the progress, of course, is between 0 and 100. So yeah, I mean, it has to be, the progress has to be, I'm actually kind of regretting making this a, probably should have made it like a float or something, because we're going to have to divide it by 100. Huh, that was a terrible idea, wasn't it? Or maybe not actually, but really the progress should just be multiplied by our size, except that's not really going to work in this case, but that's kind of what we want to do. So, let's make this a float, otherwise it's going to absolutely destroy me. Let's just make it a double. So it has to be between 0 and 1. That's going to be the easiest way to do this. Because that way it will work for whatever size, obviously, it's going to be. So, double. And then where's our set progress? Alright. This is typically how these things would work, by the way. So now that we've done that, we can basically be like, what's the progress times what our maximum size is, which is x. Okay, and then that should totally work. Because obviously when progress is going to be 1, we're going to be at our maximum size, which is, well, like, I don't know, 200 and something? Oh, that's right, we set it to like a mathematical thing. Mathematical thing, which is really like 220, I think. Yeah, so that's 220. But, anyway, when that's 1, it's going to be 220. When it's 0, it's going to be 0. It's going to just work out really well. So, that being said, let's cast this to an int. Make sure you cast that result to an int, not like, if you don't put brackets around it, it's just going to cast progress to an int, which will be an absolute disaster because it's always going to be 0 except for when it's 1. Make sure you do both of that. Okay, cool. Anyway, now that we've done that, we've set the foreground color. So that should be an int. Okay, now that we've done all this, let's launch this and see nothing, which is the correct result. So let's go over here into like update or whatever, and we can be like UI health bar dot set progress 0.5, half, good, 0.2, 0.8, and 1. Yeah, pretty cool. So now that looks pretty good, and if we really wanted to, we could even do like a bit of an animation thing. So int time equals 0, time mod, time plus plus mod 100 divided by 100, and suddenly we've got a progress bar animation. Alright, but there you go. So you can see that totally works well. And that's beautiful. So we've got a progress bar now. The one thing we are missing though, is, and we don't actually have real health. So let's just make this to like health, which we'll make in a minute. Sorry, we'll actually probably set it to health divided by, let's just say the player can have a maximum of 100 health or something. So we'll make it health divided by 100.0, and health will be an integer. So all mobs will have health. The player will start with like 100 or something, obviously. Oops, that's the wrong constructor. Let's just mark that deprecated, so that we don't, so that we can just remind ourselves that you really shouldn't do anything with it. Okay, cool. So that should be a full health bar now. Great. So, the last thing we need to do here before we're done, and this is, yeah, okay. Last thing we need to do before we're done is display just HP in white letters. So let's do that. So the reason, one thing I want to mention quickly is I'm pretty much copying Realm of the Mad God directly, just for the sake of having like a target, I guess, just having something that we want to achieve, right? Having like a target to achieve. Because if I'm, oh, I love how activate windows is in the screenshot. That's fantastic. Anyway, if I'm making this stuff on the spot, you guys might think that I'm trying to avoid doing some hard things, or that I'm kind of making it easy or something. So the easiest way is just to take an existing product and try and replicate it, because that way it'll teach you everything you need to make a game similar to Realm of the Mad God, and that was the entire point of this series. So anyway, that's why I'm doing this strictly, because you can basically see that, oh, okay, if I follow this series, I can make Realm of the Mad God. So that's our idea. Anyway, HP. So let's do that. Let's go into, so that'll be a separate label, obviously. Yeah, we don't actually need to do that. We can just add panel to add component. So UI label. So position will be basically this offset by a little bit. So plus, in fact, if I want it to be really nice, I could just say UI. So UI health bar dot position dot add. Except that's going to, I should really clone it. See that? I wish that would return a new. Does that return a new? That probably doesn't. It returns this. Yeah, we don't want that. Okay, well, here's what we can do, I think. I hope. If it doesn't, we'll add it. But you should be able to go new vector 2i, ui.position.add, like 2. I know you can't do the add 2 part, but can you do this? Yes, you can. Fantastic. So we can create a new constructor. Good. Now let's add an add that just takes in an int value and just adds it to both x and y. Okay. And our text is just HP. Hit points. Or health points, or, well, traditionally it's hit points, but we could just write health if we wanted to be a bit different from Realm of Mad God, but whatever. So, we probably don't want a drop shadow. We do want the color to be, so we can use set color if we just want to set it to an integer, which I find is usually easier. And then we will also set the font, right? So Verdana seems to be pretty good. Seems to be working out pretty well. So far, font up plain. And size, yeah, this is going to be difficult. I'm going to say like 18, but we'll probably have to do a lot of experimentation to get it to fit properly. Let's just see what happens here. Nothing. That's great. Let's maybe add the right label. Okay, so that's right. That's the bottom. So position dot. This isn't going to work because I thought it was the top left. Why is the font from the bottom left? That's so weird, Java. What are you doing? So let's add new vector 2i. So we'll add apparently like, what's our height? Like 20? We might add like 18. And then, yeah, like, sorry, 18 to this and 2 to that is what I meant. That actually fits really well. I'm just going to keep the font at 18, I think. Because that font seems to work out very well. There we go, HP, done. Let's take a look at what that looks like when our health is not. Oh, whoops, that's an update shooting. Yeah, let's probably not put it in update shooting. Let's put it into update. I might actually make a new method for it, but anyway, this seems pretty good. So let's set the health to like 50, 0. Yeah, so it works on pretty much all kind of surfaces as you would expect it to. So yeah, pretty good. So there you go. Looks pretty good. And yeah, if you wanted to, you could probably change it to where is this? What am I looking for? Health, right? If you just want to display health. I don't know, that looks a bit kind of, yeah, I think HP is probably a bit more subtle. Doesn't bounce in the eyes so much. But yeah, there you go. So hope you guys enjoyed this episode of game programming where we added a new UI component called progress bars. Next time we'll probably add I don't know, mana points and fame or something. I don't know. We probably need to decide what this game's going to actually look like. If you guys are up for it, if you guys want to take maybe, I don't know, if you guys are okay with next episode maybe taking a break from actual programming for the first time in the game programming series and just doing a bit of a planning episode. In fact, I might live stream it. if you guys are interested in that, I might live stream just basically a planning episode and then put it up on YouTube, or just not put it up on YouTube at all as an episode of game programming, just so that we all have some ideas about how this game's going to work. Because as you can see, we're actually getting into game design now that we have a lot of stuff working very well. And of course, I don't want to make this game exactly like Realm of the Mad God. I just want it to be capable of replicating Realm of the Mad God. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this episode, please hit the like button. Let me know what you think about that idea, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.